I just left the corporate world after 23 years of honestly an amazing career. And this is going to surprise you because I'm not going to be the one to tell you, oh, I couldn't wait until I left it. I actually had the best role, the best supervisor, the best team at the time I made the decision. But I'm going to tell you in this video exactly why and the three different concepts that really helped me give me the confidence and understanding and clarity that it was the right time. If you are new here, my name is Jenny Lopez, and I empower people to be their most authentic self because that's whenever we do our best work. In addition to that, I have had multiple successful careers as an executive leader in the corporate world, also as a professional dancer. I've written An Intentional Unicorn, which is an Amazon bestseller book, and I started my own business back in 2020. And now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be focusing on completely in the business and continue to grow it because my why is bigger than anything else. Deciding to leave the corporate world and a steady paycheck is not an easy decision. But how do you know? How do you know it's the right time? How do you know if it's the right decision for you? Please stick around because I'm going to give you the three different areas, concept tools that I went through to give me the clarity and the confidence to make the decision. And stick around until the end because the more I think about it, these three things that I'm going to be sharing with you honestly apply with any key big decision in your life. I guarantee you. And if there is a learning nugget here, please make sure that you subscribe and share this with your friends because I want to create a community where we are all learning from each other and getting stronger together. All right, my friend, I'm going to start with a vulnerable story here between you and I. And the reason I want to share this is because this is what made me invest on myself, which is the number one thing, the one bucket area that I want to share with you. Okay. There was a point in my career where I was struggling. I felt, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid and in the pool where you go around the pool in a circle with your friends, and when you do that and many of you are going the same direction, you create a current. Yes. And then the game is whenever you switch direction, that is so difficult to go in the opposite direction and we're all having fun. But in real life, when you feel that you're swimming against the current, it's not fun. And that's exactly where I was. I didn't feel supported. I feel I was swimming against the current. It was so exhausting. But when I came back home, I thought I was keeping a front. Like I thought I got it together. I'm gonna be strong for my family and my husband and my kids. And I switched. Yes. So there was one particular afternoon that I came back from work, and I remember my husband saying, "Jenny, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, of course. I'm thinking I'm keeping my front. Everything is okay." And it was almost like he could see through my soul. He could read my soul. And he stopped and said, "Jenny, are you okay?" And I realized he knew I was not okay. And I started crying, which I'm not a big crier. So that took him off guard. But I realized, goodness, if he can tell, then my kids can tell. And I realized the impact that all of that was happening in my career was now happening, right, in my family. And then I asked my question, okay, continue to doing the same thing. I could do that. It feels easy because it's in my comfort zone. But goodness, imagine then what version of myself Jenny is going to become 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and the impact that that was going to have on the people that I love. And that's when I say I need to do something. Okay. Now, this story is not what made me leave corporate. Okay. This story happened many, many years ago, 10 plus years ago. Okay. But at that point, that's whenever I said, stop, time out. I need to do something different. And that's what triggered the need and the urgency of investing in myself, which is the number one thing that I wanted to share with you. Investing in yourself, upskilling, not just depend on what the things that they offer at work or whatever. You take the initiative to upskill yourself. And I did that in different areas. At that point, I didn't even think of starting a business. I just started investing on myself, personal development. I started investing on myself of my knowledge about business, my knowledge about leadership, my knowledge about financials, all of these things that I knew were going to make me a better leader at work. And then the best thing that I did was investing on my mindset, on my personal development. That's the thing that people don't even think about it. They don't think about it, and that's the game changer. In life, success is 20% the tactical stuff, the trainings, the strategies, the one, two, three. Like a lot of people say, tell me the steps, and I'll do that. Okay, if it was that easy, everybody will be killing it out there. But that's not the reality. So then mindset is 80%, psychology is 80% of success, but nobody is taking trainings on that. Nobody is investing on themselves to upgrade that. So whenever imposter syndrome or whenever doubt arises, whenever those limiting beliefs arise, you realize what's happening and you have the tools to know how to counter that and keep moving forward no matter what. And that's what I love to teach now. So that a lot of the videos that I do here is about how to do that, what tools to do, how to react, so that you can continue to move forward no matter what. So investing in yourself in mindset is so important. And then also investing in the communities that you want to belong to, with the people that are thinking the same, that they're wired very similarly in terms of the mindset and the goals, because you become the average of the five people that you surround yourself with. So think about your community. Think about your friends that you hang out with or your tribe. Are they the ones that are going to continue to pull you forward, or are they the ones that are pulling you back? So I really invested in myself for over 10 years, not only on the trainings, but like I mentioned, in the mindset, and also in the friends and the community and the mentors and the coaches that I knew I needed for me to continue to move forward towards my goals. So I will say that one is number one, because by the time I got to the decision time about, am I in the right place? Should I do it now? Should I wait? One of the things that gave me the confidence to take the action was because I've been investing in myself for so long that I knew I had that confidence that, at least from a mindset perspective, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to continue to grow my business no matter what, because my mission is really big, it's really clear, and I'm going to go for it because of the impact I want to have. Second aspect is being very clear on your own personal unique journey and avoid comparisons. So I will say avoid comparisons, because when I realized, I started my business in 2020, and the original plan was to retire early and then focus on my business. But then, just even like 2 years ago or a year ago, something started saying, Jenny, why wait? Why not doing it now, right? And then I started asking the same question, like, how do I know when it's the right time? And I started comparing with other journeys, and I never could see myself in the other role models that you see out there. The kids that are starting being entrepreneurs from when they're in their 20s, that's not me. I'm not even close to that, yes? Or the people that perhaps they had a more stable salary on the partner, so then they could go and bet on themselves and do it at very, very low risk. Or the people who were doing it, but they were able to roll with the punches because they didn't have kids, or the kids at an age that really depended on them, right? So I have teenagers, I am married, we have a lifestyle that is not extravagant, but it can support the taekwondo tournaments, the dance tournaments, and maybe you can relate to some of that. So in my mind was, oh goodness, there's too much at stake, and I cannot see a role model that is exactly in my shoes, so I can follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I realized, oh goodness, there is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and boom, success. There's no such thing. Everybody's path is very unique. Is very unique. And then I realized, I said, well, you know what? I'll figure this out. I know I've done I've done other goals before that I put myself. And what if I become that role model for others that perhaps are in my shoes, right? Right now, and they want to learn how I did it. And that gave me a little bit of motivation and the juice to keep moving forward. So that was really important, not really comparing myself with other people. Very, very important. Now, the third thing is timing. It's all about timing. And I always thought, okay, when is the perfect timing? Let me share you a secret. There is no perfect timing. And I realized that, right? Because at the beginning, I'm thinking 55 years, right? I had a target. But I said, why wait that long? Why not now? And there were a couple of things that kind of play around here. I'm going to share my story because that way maybe you perhaps get inspired for your story. One of them was a tool that my coach taught me. And this is the heart and gut tool, like God. And he said, when you're making a big decision, they both need to be aligned, your heart and your gut. Last year, I went to Africa. And honestly, that was one, by the way, I know this is kind of going segue here. If you ever had the opportunity to go to Africa, please go. It was one of the most amazing trips I've ever taken. And it was never on my bucket list. And now I want to go back and take my family. Okay, going back, when I was in Africa, I remember I was at in a bridge, right? And looking, we had friends and there was music and there was a little bit of a get together. And I was looking at the sunset. And guys, you know Lion King? Like, oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Lion King, you know those beautiful orange skies? I kid you not, that's exactly how the skies are every afternoon in Africa. They're magical. I've never seen that intense orange. It's just amazing. So I'm looking at the sky and I'm looking at the sunset. And honestly, I maybe it was God, but I heard Jennifer Lopez, It's Time. I don't even know how to describe it. I heard that. I heard it so loud and clear. And I remember I came back from Africa. I called my coach and I said, I think it's time. And he said, I got your back, but let's do something first. What is your heart telling you? And I say, I heard it. I heard something telling me Jennifer Lopez is time. And he said, great. What is your gut telling you? And then at that point, I felt, like I was getting smaller and like, ooh, I don't know. What if I fail and I cannot let my kids down and this and that and maybe I'm not ready yet and da da da. All these different excuses, all these crazy doubts just completely took over my mind. And he said, you're not in alignment, so perhaps it's not the right time yet. And I said, okay, I'm going to trust the process, continue to work forward, giving my best in the corporate world because, as I mentioned before, I really, really love the role and continue to upskill my craft. I started working on both at the same time, just as I've been doing for the past 4 years. Yes, but then I got in the dilemma that in my mind I said, well, maybe when I get to this X amount of money in the business, then I'll feel okay to take the leap of faith and go and stop the corporate world. I'm an engineer, so I'm like making all this math together. But I didn't have time to scale the business to that point because in the corporate world, obviously I was doing this at night or Saturday and Sunday, taking vacation time. And there's so much vacation time you have, and that's it. So I didn't have the time to really scale up to that number. And then that was making me crazy. But then I said, okay, proof of concept, this business, is it working? And the answer was yes. I was getting leads, I was getting clients in all of the three aspects that I do in my business. And I say it's working. So this is just with a little bit of organic reach. And again, it's not that I could be completely out there because I have boundaries because I had a corporate job. If you're in the corporate world, you understand what I mean. So imagine if I put all of that time and continue to make the business stronger and better and really go out there and market so I can amplify the message and the message can get to the right clients and the right people that need it. And then I said, okay, so there's no right time. There's no right time. Proof of concept, yes. I have clients, yes. Then let's make the jump. I'm still talking about timing because, as I mentioned, there's a couple of things here. Now, also, it happened to be that I was about 3.5 years in the role. And my trajectory in the corporate world has been that every 3 to 5 years, I rotate to a different job, continue to grow in different areas, which I have enjoyed. I enjoy my entire career. And as I was thinking and looking, okay, after this role that I love so much, I love my team, I love my supervisor, I looked around and I just couldn't see a role that I would love that much, that would fill my cup as much as that one did. Yes. And then I said, so maybe instead of a rotation to another job, what if the rotation is to myself? Maybe this is the time to rotate and go full time on my business. And it was the right timing. And we'll continue to talk about timing here because maybe you can relate to this. Perhaps you have kids. Yes, I have teenagers, and they were the reason that I was doubting the most about this decision. And they were also the reason I made the leap of faith, the jump. Okay, I'll explain what I mean. So as I'm making the decision, I'm thinking, oh goodness, they are teenagers. I don't want to let them down, right? As I mentioned, they have dance competitions and taekwondo. And what if this doesn't work? What if I cannot generate the same amount of money to support them on what they love? What if that? And I was putting all my focus in all of the wrong things. What if it fails? What if it doesn't work? What if I failed them? And remember that where focus goes, energy flows. So that kind of thought was truly making me, it was making me very nervous about making this decision. And then I realized, because I told you, I've been investing on my mindset. I said, Jenny, you know this, reframe. What if it works? What if actually I generate even more money so I can create even more meaningful experiences with them and then some? What if this time, this age of being teenagers is the best timing for them seeing their mom killing it out there and seeing their mom going after what she loves and what her mission is, and show and looking also that different examples of really what success could be, because success is defined, you define success, nobody defines it for you. But what about if I can create different experiences for them? They can see you can go in the corporate world, you can create your own business. There's different ways on how you can grow, and they're all okay as long as it is what you want. And that inspired me. I said, goodness, now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time. And perhaps because now, also, if I do this in a very intentional way, which that's how I have lived my life, that's why I wrote the book, Intentional Unicorn. I choose where I want to have my time, where I spend my time. And now I can be even more present in the things that matter to them. And when I did that reframe and put it that way, that gave me the motivation that I needed. And I say, this is it. And that's whenever my gut and my heart got into this beautiful alignment. And since then, I've been in this peaceful state. I don't even know how to even describe it, but I've never been so aligned in my life and so focused, and I'm so excited. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because if you happen to be in this journey, I want you to at least have another person, me, to learn from, because there's many different journeys and stories on how people made this decision, this jump. Remember, there is not just one way. If there was only one way, everybody who wanted something different than a corporate career, they would have done it. But there's a lot of people like you and I that for many, many years are probably, is it the right time? Is this for me or not? I'm just sharing my story so that can inspire you. Now, ultimately, if there's something from all these three areas and aspects that I share with you that just pulls everything through, is to have a very meaningful and deep why as of why you're taking this leap. Okay, the mission of your business or your personal mission, they have to be so strong, because this is not easy. I mean, easier is being in a corporate job where you have a steady income. Yes, this is not easy. It's courageous, but it also has a beautiful upside. But you have to be very, very meaningful in how you go about it, because that's how you can get focused and grow it. Otherwise, it becomes another job and one without a steady income, and you don't want that. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna close this one saying, hey, remember, there is not a one size fits all journey. This is mine. I'm sharing it for motivation. If there is something that you want me to just pull that subject and expand it, because I gave a lot of information in this one, please let me know in the comments because I'll be more than happy to go into even a more and more details. There were so many people asking me to make this video, and I'm thinking, goodness, I can be here for hours and hours if I just put everything that I have here into one video. So instead, I just went back and thought about, okay, if there's like three different areas that really were the ones who came together at the time for me to give me the confidence and the clarity to make the decision to leave the corporate world and go and take the leap of faith and the leap of love and focusing on my own business, what would that be? And that's exactly what I did in this video. So please subscribe. That's number one. I want to create a community, and you can help me doing that by subscribing to this channel. And also let me know, because that way I can continue to provide videos that are useful and helpful for you. Alrighty, I'll see you on the next video.